Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Rome Gangplank. This board features Rome's contact rocker, which is flat through the middle with rocker in the tip and the tail. This is going to give this board a surfy, loose feel with stability through the middle. It's going to also make it easier for entry in and out of turns, as well as pressing and buttering. This board is available in 148, 153, 156, 154 wide, and 157 wide. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a day that was sunny, blue skies, warmer temps. There was ice, chunder, death cookies, scraped off groomers, a little bit of corduroy, basically typical pre-season conditions, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. The overall flex of this board comes in just below middle of the road. So what you get is softer tip and tail that is accentuated by the rocker, then a stiffer midsection, and I mean just a hair stiffer, through that flat section in the middle. The torsional flex is there, it's highly abundant. Now at high speeds, you're gonna notice some chatter out in the nose and the tail. It just starts to flap. A little bit of that is dissipated from that bamboo rod in there. But when you get into rutted out terrain, you're gonna just feel it flapping at high speeds and uneven terrain. You notice it. It's that midsection that is the most stable. It is where you're gonna get any stability from this board. With the flat to rocker profile in this board, it has a skate-like pop. You don't have to be hyper-focused on loading it up. Now what that means is you can just be riding along, roll back on the tail, and you're gonna spring. Those bamboo Omega hot rods in the tip and the tail do give you added snap. So when you really just roll back, you feel that engage, it's gonna pop. It's one of those boards as you're riding along, you can just pop and not really have to worry about it. Now, as this was the preseason, I had to hit the lip of like the smallest jump ever. This board got the job done. I'd say small to medium features are really where this thing's strong suit is. I've ridden this board in the past and hit bigger jumps with it, so I know it can handle it. But once again, it's a board that you don't have to focus on loading up to get that rebound out of, and it will just get you up in the air with very minimal effort. When it comes to buttering and jibbing, this is where this board shines. Right outside those hot rods, that's where you want to lock in your press. You're going to feel that sweet spot engage. You're going to be able to keep your weight out over it, and it's going to lock in and hold. But when you want to disengage, you're going to get that spring from the rod and be able to pop out, over, or off of whatever feature you're on. When you get sideways, it just locks in. You don't have to worry about it when you're sliding the snow. And the same can be said when you're jibbing. This board locks in around a rail. It hugs exceptionally well, but it doesn't clap out. It's really easy to press. It's a board that doesn't take a lot of effort to jib on, but you do get a lot of rebound out of. So when it comes to carving on this board, there's limitations with it. You gotta be somewhat light on your feet. You're gonna be engaging a little bit more underfoot, and your carves are gonna be mellow. That's what they're gonna be. You might wanna lay it over and really just dig a trench, and when you do, you're gonna realize there's limitations. And what are those limitations? Your tail's gonna fold and buckle and kick out on you. So you just gotta be aware of how hard you can actually send it with this board. Now it is easy to transition from edge to edge. You don't really have to worry about that too much. I will say this, with the flat to rocker profile on sheet ice, you're just doomed. It doesn't engage or give you that locked in feel like a traditional camber board would, but that's not what this is actually for. It's designed to be a little bit more loose on edge and playful. So who's this board for? The jibber that likes a little snap from their board. So this year they gave this board a new shape, and that's awesome. You notice it right away, but there's this consistency that when you get on a gangplank, you know what you're gonna get. It just rides consistently like a deck that you've been on for 100 days. You know that. It feels well broken in, but it still has pop. It still has snap to it. You know, you can charge with it when you need to in the park, outside of the park, limitations. It's good for setup turns. If you're really just trying to crank a hard carve, you might want to look at something else in the Rome lineup, but you know, once you find the limitations, you understand the sweet spots, it's a great board through and through. Comparable boards, the Yes Dicey, the K2 World Peace, the Arbor Westmark Rocker. Binding recommendations, the Rome Vice, the Bent Metal Joint, the Union Contact Pro. This has been my review of the Rome Gangplank. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.